The sun was sliding behind the Wyoming hills when Caleb Turner spotted her. He was driving a wagon load of supplies back from town, his horse trotting slow along the ridge, when something pale flickered near the river bend. At first he thought it was a stray deer or a patch of linen caught in a branch, but when he came closer, he saw it was a woman barefoot, shivering and covered in dust. Her dress was torn, her hair matted with dried blood, and when she turned toward him, her face was bruised, one eye swelling dark purple. Caleb jumped from the wagon, boots crunching on the rocks. "Ma'am, you hurt?" he called softly. The woman flinched, stepping back as though every sound burned. Don't look at me," she whispered, voice shaking like wind through dry grass. She turned away, clutching her torn shawl around her shoulders. "Please, just go." Caleb froze where he stood. She looked like she'd been through hell itself. He saw the marks of rope around her wrists, the raw scrape on her ankle, and he knew this wasn't just some traveler who'd lost her way. "I'm not gonna hurt you," he said gently, taking off his hat. "Name's Caleb Turner. I got a ranch about 3 miles west. You're safe now." The woman shook her head. "No one's safe. Not out here." Her voice cracked with fear and exhaustion. She stumbled, knees giving way, and he caught her before she hit the ground. "Easy there," he murmured. She tensed in his arms but didn't fight. Her whole body trembled like she hadn't eaten in days. Caleb carried her to the wagon, covering her with his coat, and started for home. The road was quiet except for the creak of wheels and the soft hiss of wind. When he glanced back, she was watching him through half-lidded eyes, cautious but curious. "What's your name?" he asked. After a long pause, she whispered, "Eliza." That night, the firelight in Caleb's cabin painted her face in gold and shadow. She sat on the edge of the bed, holding a cup of water, eyes darting toward every sound. He could tell she was fighting the urge to run. "Who did this to you?" he asked softly. Her lip trembled. "Men. They took everything. My brother was killed in Kansas. I thought I could find work out here teach. Maybe, but they found me on the trail. I ran till my feet bled." Caleb's jaw tightened. He'd seen cruelty before, but something about this woman so fragile, yet still standing, cut deeper than he expected. "Ain't no man got the right to hurt someone like you," he said. "You'll stay here till you heal. No one'll find you." She looked up then, eyes wet but fierce. "Why would you help me?" He met her gaze steadily. "Because I've known pain too. Lost my wife 3 winters back. Sometimes, help's the only thing that keeps a man human." For a long while she said nothing. Then she whispered, "Thank you." The next morning, he found her outside, barefoot again, standing near the river that ran behind the ranch. The wind tugged her hair loose, and for the first time, there was a trace of color in her cheeks. She turned when she heard him approach, startled but no longer terrified. "Don't look at me," she said again, voice soft, almost shy this time. Caleb stopped a few feet away. "Eliza," he said quietly, "you got nothing to be ashamed of." Her eyes glistened in the sunlight. "You don't know what they did. I'm not who I used to be." He hesitated, the ache of her words settling heavy in his chest. "You're still here," he said. "That means you're stronger than you think." When she finally met his eyes, something fragile began to heal in both of them. The weeks that followed were slow, tender, and filled with silence that spoke louder than words. Eliza helped in the kitchen, tended the chickens, and learned the rhythm of the ranch. Caleb never asked her to tell more than she wanted. He just made sure she ate, rested, and laughed when she could. Some nights, he'd play the old fiddle by the fire, and she'd close her eyes, letting the music wash away the ghosts that haunted her. One evening, a storm rolled in from the west. Thunder cracked, rain beating against the windows. Eliza stood by the firelight, arms wrapped around herself, staring into the flames. Caleb entered quietly, dripping wet from tying down the horses. "Storms mean tonight," he said, hanging his coat. She nodded but didn't turn. "I hate thunder. Reminds me of them yelling." Her voice shook. He stepped closer. "You're safe here, Eliza. I swear it." When she finally looked at him, tears streaked her face. "I don't deserve kindness. I'm broken." Caleb's breath hitched. Without thinking, he dropped to one knee in front of her, his hands trembling as they reached for hers. "You listen to me," he said hoarsely. "You ain't broken. You survived. You got more courage in you than most men I've known." She blinked in disbelief, whispering, "Why are you doing this?" Because, he said, voice steady now, every time I see you, I remember what hope looks like. Lightning flashed, and in that brief burst of light, Eliza saw his eyes steady, warm, full of something she hadn't felt in years, respect. He wasn't offering pity. He was offering her a future. She sank to her knees too, sobbing into his shoulder. I don't know if I can ever love again, she whispered. He wrapped his arms around her. Then just start with livin'. The rest'll come when it's ready. By spring, the ranch bloomed with wildflowers. The scars on her skin faded, and laughter returned to the porch. Eliza learned to ride, to smile, and to trust the man who'd once knelt before her when she couldn't stand tall. One morning, she found a small carved box on the table. Inside lay a silver locket and a note that read, "For the woman who taught me that strength wears many faces. Caleb." She pressed it to her heart, tears falling freely, but they were no longer tears of pain. And so, in a place where both hearts had been broken by the world, they found healing not through grand gestures, but quiet love, the kind that grows like dawn after a long, cold night. And that, my friends, was "Don't look at me," she whispered, bruised and barefoot. But the rancher fell to one knee and said, "If this story touched your heart, hit that like button, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe to Old West Story, where every sunset brings another tale of courage, redemption, and love from the American frontier."